Ryan, what are you doing?
What's going on, everybody? This is the Inner Circle Podcast, episode 32. Thank you so much for listening. We're currently here at 1:41 a.m. here at HQ at Church on the Move, 1502 Houston Street. If you ain't at Church on the Move, then where you at, bro? So we're here, and me and Aaron got to talking about some.
Yo, what up?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, Aaron's here.
Dang, I was waiting for that.
I was like not about to introduce you. My bad.
Wow.
So we were talking, right, in the car ride to and from Pastor Trinity's house about just about a couple things. So there's a little acronym that people say when it comes to being in church, and they said, "Man, you know what it is?
What is it?
You got to be fat." And some of you might be like, "What? Why would I want to be fat?"
Yeah, bro. New Year's resolution: get
I
fit,
know.
not fat.
Why would I want to be fat? Okay, this is what I meant by what is an acronym, right? When with the letters.
Is it an acronym?
I think it is,
or
right?
an anagram?
I don't know. Y'all know what we mean, right? When each
Yes,
letter means
sir.
something, yeah, it don't matter. You know what? You don't come here for English lesson. So anyways, so fat basically means faithful, available, and teachable.
Wow.
So these are the things you have to be when it comes to being a follower of the Lord, basically, because these are I feel like 3 basic principles you need to have. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than just those 3 basic fundamentals, but these 3 things I feel like are very, very important: being faithful, available, and teachable, especially if you want to be a disciple of the Lord.
Amen.
So we're gonna hit those one by one, and then we're gonna have a question that I kind of wrote on the whiteboard that we're gonna hit at the end. And so first off, I want to talk about being faithful. So to you, what do you feel like being faithful, not only to the Lord? Well, yeah, we can start with the Lord, but also faithful when it comes to what you do for the Lord as well in your church or even at work or anything like that. So what do you think faithful means to you?
I think one word definitely comes to mind, and that's commitment.
Commitment, yeah.
Yeah, I think anything you do when it comes to being faithful is you saying that I'm going to be committed. And, that takes a lot to say, because, when you say you're going to be committed to something, that means you're also going to be disciplined.
Yeah.
That means you're also going to be, persevering.
Yeah.
That means you're also going to be stubborn with a purpose.
Yes.
And so to say all that is to say that, you're being faithful.
Yeah, I also think consistency as well.
Absolutely.
Going off of what you said about being disciplined, because I think another thing with discipline is being consistent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And also, too, I think being faithful in what you do, but also with the Lord is just believing when it doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because there may be a time where your pastor or your friend or somebody comes up to you with something. It's like, the Lord told me to do this.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that?
Preposterous.
Yeah, preposterous. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that? That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
But then being faithful in that, it's like, you know what? Since my pastor said it's something that we're doing, and because I know he hears from the Lord, and
For sure.
And I also too, I've been praying, and this is what I heard, because you always need to have your own relationship with the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm hearing the same thing from the Lord, then I just got to be faithful, even if it don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whenever Jesus tried to feed all those people with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, do you think it made sense to them?
No.
The math doesn't add up.
Exactly. The quantity doesn't add up.
It just doesn't make sense.
1 + 1 is not going to equal 5,000, homeboy. Go ahead and put that back.
So it doesn't make sense. But instead of the disciples questioning Jesus, they said, we're just going to be faithful. We're just going to believe in it. And I think that's one thing that it takes to be a disciple of the Lord. You're just going to be faithful even when it doesn't make sense. For example, whenever I told the story before, when Trini went to go pray for that guy, and then apparently he was dead already. If I'm telling the story right, and then they said he was gonna pray for healing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just don't want to look foolish, and the Lord told him, look foolish. Can you imagine? Okay, hold on. We're gonna break it down.
Yeah. we gotta definitely. That was you just said some key points right there. I think you need to definitely point out.
We need to break it down. So he had to go to the hospital to pray for somebody, right? So already, that's kind of like, oh man, that's crazy, right? I gotta go pray because his family's there, everybody's gathered around, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pray, and then you're just like, oh, the whole family's here. I don't want to look foolish.
Yeah.
And the Lord said, look foolish. I'm gonna put it in this perspective. Can you imagine you being in a situation where you had to basically give a prayer that's catastrophic to this family. Because keep in mind, this is somebody the family loves, right?
Yeah.
A family member, they've been around, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A family member, right? And you got to give a prayer, and you don't know what's going to happen. And you say, I don't want to look foolish. And the Lord tells you, look foolish.
Wow. That's that's crazy.
What do you say?
What do I say?
You can't.
What are you
gonna say?
I think that has to coexist. Being faithful coexists with looking foolish.
Yeah, you just gotta. That's just something you gotta do.
Because yeah, bro. To people, like you said earlier, it's not gonna make sense.
Yeah. So so he did it, and long story short, he came back to life. He came to church. Everything like that was crazy.
Yeah.
But
wow, that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Recovery, speedy recovery.
But yeah, because I think being like he was faithful. Like I said, being faithful is just one of those things. You have to have faith if you're gonna walk out this walk with the Lord, because sometimes you're gonna do things that doesn't make sense. Sometimes you're gonna do things even whenever you don't feel like doing it. I mean, there's times where I'm just gonna be honest. I don't feel like doing worship. Even recently, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like doing it. And then I was like, you know what? That's just the devil trying to keep me down. So I'm just gonna do it anyways, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about my feelings. I'm gonna worship anyways, because God is good whether I feel good or not. Because it's not.
Say that again.
God's goodness isn't based on my feelings, and God's goodness isn't based on what's going on at the time or at the moment. So that's why
that's good.
I decided to do it anyways, and I decided to be faithful. And I think, and the other part of being fat, the letter A stands for being available. So there's times where you're gonna have to be available, like basically what I was just talking about in worship. There's gonna be times where you're gonna have to be available when you don't want to be available. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's gonna be times where you got to be available whenever the church needs you, or for example, when the Lord needs you. Yeah. And I could give a story based on that. I mean, that story we're talking about when that lady, the Lord called her to go preach to people, right? To go on a mission trip or whatever. And he was like, I want you to go do this for me. And then she's like, oh, well, God, I really want to get married first. Can I get married first, and then I'll go and preach your word? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he let her get married, and then he came back to her again saying, I'm calling you to go preach here again. I need you to go here. And then she was like, yeah, Lord, I'll go do it, but can I have a baby first? Like, I really want to start a family. Yeah. And he granted it to her again. And keep in mind, the Lord is granting you these things. In life, the Lord grants you things. It's not just something that just magically happens. People kind of tend to forget that
for sure.
These things are granted to you by the Lord. And so then she got pregnant. She had a baby. And then he came back to her again saying, I need you to preach for me. I need you to go to these places and preach my word. Yeah. And she said, and she ended up having a boy. And she's like, Lord, I'll go, but can I have a little girl first? So I have the perfect family. Right. So then he's like, all right. And then she had the daughter and everything like that. She ended up having a girl. And right after that, she came to the Lord saying, Lord, I'm ready. And she wasn't hearing from the Lord. And so she started praying and praying. She's like, Lord, I'm ready to go. And the Lord finally answered her. He said, the people that I needed you to go reach are dead now. Wow. And that's a missed opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that we can't miss. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that was a true story. Maybe it's a true story. I feel like it is a true story because I think that it was a true story. I don't know. But the reason why I'm saying that is because there's been times where I feel like I've missed opportunities because I wasn't making myself available in the moment. And at the end of the day, the Lord's either going to use you when he calls you, or if you say no, then he's going to move on to the next person and they're going to do what he asked you to do. And you never want to miss that opportunity. You know what I mean?
No, it definitely ties into not only being available, but also stepping in right after that. And first, obviously, being sensitive to the Holy Spirit, right? And then moving and in obedience. I mean, being available, awesome. But then there's that part of moving also in obedience. Being available in obedience. Yeah. And man, to do that, you're gonna what? You're gonna look foolish sometimes. Yep. Hey, go pray at that lady right now that is at the aisle right now buying milk for her family. That go pray for her. Oh, yeah. God, man, I'm with my little mama. You know, we just out here shopping. You know,
Or
I
you
don't
be
want to do
asking,
it.
was that really
Was
God?
that really
Yeah,
God?
yeah.
Maybe I'm tired. I did his podcast. It was like, 2 hours of sleep. You know, like,
That's what I
is that
believe.
really God? But God's saying, look, I need you to be available right now.
Yeah.
I need you to be obedient.
Mm-hmm.
And I also need you to move in faithfulness.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's it. That's where it's at. And the last part of being fat, the T, is, I think, a thing that a lot of people don't like to hear. A lot of people don't want to do this part, and it's being teachable.
Yeah. Wow. That's
And
awesome.
what that basically means is sometimes in life, whether it's your mentor, your pastor, your mom or dad, your coworker, your boss, whatever, there's gonna be times where you're gonna receive criticism, and I think it's up to you how you receive it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
maybe they did it in the wrong way, or maybe they did it the right way. Who knows? But at the end of the day, you could either take that and you can make it make you a victim, or you can take that and make you better.
A victor. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think being teachable is a very, very big thing when it comes to being a disciple. Because if you're not being teachable, then how are you ever going to learn? You can't learn if you're not teachable. That just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And being teachable helps you grow in every aspect in your life. Because there are going to be times where you might receive something and you just don't like it. And most of the times you don't like it because it's the truth.
Yeah.
And that's just facts. There's been times where I had to be teachable in certain areas that I didn't want to be teachable in, and then it's you either learn the easy way or the hard way, and sometimes people come for the easy way, and then you don't listen to them, and then like the Lord's gonna come and He's gonna show you the hard way, because I mean, if you look at any story in the Bible, there's been times where the Lord needed somebody to be teachable, and He's trying to do something, and then they didn't want to do it.
They wanted to be stubborn.
They wanted to be stubborn, and not stubborn with a purpose, but they wanted to be stubborn for what they wanted to be stubborn.
Exactly. With selfishness.
Yeah, stubborn with selfishness instead of being stubborn with a purpose. Because being stubborn with a purpose, like the last podcast episode that we did together, was being stubborn in the fact that I know this is what the Lord wants and nothing's going to sway me no matter what. But being stubborn with selfishness is I'm not going to do it because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, plain and simple.
Yeah, and being teachable basically means I'm going to put myself to the side. I'm going to lay my pride down, because that's what it is. When you're not teachable, it's your pride. And you're going to lay your pride down so you can learn something, because the Lord's going to use people around you. He's going to use situations to help you learn something.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it may be for somebody you don't like.
Big facts.
And you're just going to have to be okay with that. But what do you think about when you think about teachable?
I mean, I totally agree. I think He's going to use your environment. I think He's going to use your family, your friends, and even those that you deem as the people you might not really like. The ops, man, the ops. And so, no, for sure, teachable is something that I definitely learned in a season where I was a part of a creative firm. And, shout out to Brandon J. Walker, where he put me through a lot of conversations. I remember going late to Hype Student Ministries because I had hours of conversations with Brandon. And those were pivotal moments. You know, I'm very appreciative in those moments. I look back at it now and I'm able to say, wow, I'm able to see a lot of things more clearly. I'm able to approach conversations a lot more wiser. I'm able to be slow when I speak, quick to listen, and think twice when I respond with more wisdom. Well, you know what I'm saying? Just because I was at a place where at that time I thought I knew everything.
Yeah.
I thought I knew what was best for me.
And that's pride, like how I said, the pride would get in the way.
And sometimes we get we just get comfortable.
Yeah.
We get comfortable and be like, bro, I'm good. I don't need to learn anything, or that doesn't benefit me. Or like you said, pride, laziness.
Yeah.
No humbleness at all. And bro, if you know anything about, being a Christian, bro, and walking it out,
you're going to be humbled.
You're going to get humbled, bro.
You're either going to humble yourself or you're going to get humbled.
You're going to get humbled. You don't want to get humbled.
You don't want to get humbled.
Get humbled or be humbled. You know what I'm saying?
You'd rather humble yourself than get humbled.
Yeah, so definitely be teachable for sure. It's very beneficial.
Yeah, and then I believe that you would, because we talked about this in the car. You would say that, there was times where they ripped you up, and in a good way, constructive criticism.
Yeah,
and you could either took that and made yourself a victim out of it, or you could
take
that and better yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even my brother growing up, he would put me in a lot of positions where he, Abraham, I would definitely consider him, one of my biggest mentors. All my brothers taught me some good stuff, but Abraham being kind of in my ear, he definitely taught me a lot of moments where I'm stubborn, bro.
Yeah.
I truly believe I'm stubborn. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, being a follower, being a creative, sometimes you get just stuck in just stubbornness because you get comfortable, bro. You get
Mm-hmm.
stuck in a pattern. I think people, they love patterns,
Yeah.
and no one likes to wake up and do something different.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's an inconvenience, but is it worth it? I think
Yeah.
that's the question you ask yourself. Is this worth it? Do I see it? You know what I'm saying? Do I see myself being better and a year from now? And
Yeah.
if you do, then that's just something you need to take time to invest in. And you need to always remain teachable, always remain a sponge. And at the end of the day, you're gonna grow. Being teachable is watering your spirit, watering who you are as a person, and that's just gonna grow.
Yeah. I agree because being teachable, because you can learn something from anyone, and
Hmm.
that's the thing about um, learning is that you could either get rid of it, whatever. I'm not gonna pay attention to it, or you can
Hmm.
take it and you can run with it. Because even when
Yeah.
people are being mean about a certain thing, and maybe it's true what they're saying, but they don't approach it the right way. You can either be like, you know what, I'm not gonna listen to them because they're mean or whatever, or you could be
Yeah.
like, uh, I'm gonna take what they say. I still don't like how they said it, but I'm gonna take
Hmm.
what they say, and I'm gonna better myself in these areas so that I can not fold myself up like that ever again. And I believe that being faithful, available, and teachable will make you a good steward of what the Lord gives you.
Absolutely.
It'll make you a better disciple. It'll make you a better
Absolutely.
Christian. But not only that, I think it'll make you a better person as well. Because it's
Absolutely.
good to be faithful. It's good to be available, flexible. I think even could go up there too, being flexible and teachable
So
as well.
fat with two F's, just one silent.
Yeah.
Fat.
And so I want to get into this last question, because we're kind of talking about it on the way here,
Hmm.
and it's a question basically saying, are you being a good steward of what was given to you? And I want to open up with a story. I don't know exactly where it is in the Bible, but I'm gonna look it up right now. So in Matthew 25, verse 14 through 30, I'm basically gonna paraphrase
Go
what it
ahead.
says. But there was a guy, right, and he had three servants, and so the Bible says he entrusted uh, a certain amount of money to them based on
Hmm.
their ability, right?
Wow.
So to one, he gave 5 bags of gold. To the
Mm.
one, he gave 3 bags of gold, and
Mm.
to another one, he gave 1 bag of gold, right? So the guy who had received 5
Yeah.
went and multiplied the money, and then he had 10 bags of gold. And then same thing with the one who had 2, he multiplied it and got 4. But the
Hmm.
one who had 1 took the money and dug it in a hole and put it in a hole and covered it up. And so then the master returned later, and he basically saw the servant and the one who came. He said, I multiplied your money,
Mm.
and here's the rest of it. And the master was like, good job and everything like that. Now come and share
Hmm.
in my happiness, right? And then he did the same thing with the other guy who got 4, who multiplied the 2 and got 4. And then the last guy came up and he said, I was afraid and all this stuff, and I didn't know, and I didn't want to lose your money or whatever, and I don't want to use it, or I don't know how he said it right, but he said I was afraid basically, and so I hid your money. And then he basically tossed him out and said, like, you're like, you didn't do anything what I was giving to you. And then I wanted to highlight this last verse,
Yeah.
because it's basically about being a good steward of what's given to you.
Hmm.
So it says, to those who use well what they are given, even more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But for those who do nothing, even what little they have will be taken away. So basically, what I want to say is, if you're not being a good steward of what you're given, and you're basically just hiding it away or just not doing anything with it,
Yeah.
the Lord's going to take it away from you.
Hmm.
And that's what we talked about today when we were with the pastors today, and we were saying why some churches succeed and why some fail is because
Yeah.
they're not being a good steward of their time, of the people who go there, and what I'm saying, they're not investing well into it. What I'm saying, um, and that's why some churches fail and why some churches
Yeah.
succeed, because at the end of the day, if you're sowing and you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're being a good steward of what you're doing,
Yeah.
more will be given to you. That's what the Bible said. And
Yeah.
if you're not, it's going to be taken away from you, because everybody loves to talk about the Lord who gives, but the Bible also says He's the Lord who takes away. He's the
Yeet.
one who gives and takes away. Yeah, people don't want to talk about that part.
Hmm.
They don't want to talk about the part where it says He takes away, because at the end of the day, if you're not doing anything with it,
Yeah.
what's the point of even having it? So you might as well just say, "Here, Lord, take it back," because I'm not going to do
Yeah.
anything
Because
with
I'm
it.
not exactly. I'm gonna bury it.
Yeah. And the Lord didn't call us to bury our talents, our callings, and our purpose.
Wow.
And so if we're doing that, then what's the point of even having it in the first place?
Yeah.
That's what I said earlier when I said, if you're not going to do it, he's going to find someone else to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think being a good steward means that you're taking what the Lord's giving you, whether that's your job, even your family, your church, your ministry, whatever it is. It's being wise with your moves. It's being wise with your time. It's being wise with the people who come into contact with you.
Yeah.
How you're shepherding them, how you're stewarding them, how you're taking care of them. Every single thing, every single aspect is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Pleasing to the Lord. And I think if you don't know what to do, I think you should start with that question. Is what I'm doing, whether it's your family, job, or everything I said, your ministry, whatever it is what I'm doing pleasing the Lord?
Yeah.
And if you can't answer that question with a definite yes right after you ask that question, then you need to take a look at what you're doing, because it should be a definite yes every single time. And if it's not, then you need to go back and look at it. But what do you think about that, being a good steward? What do you think being a good steward would look like?
It would definitely be what we're just covering, being fat, being faithful, for sure, trusting the Lord and all the things that you do, and just trusting him that, hey, that saying, Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Also being available.
Yeah.
Making sure that you are there and walking in availability and saying, God, I may not be qualified, but guess what? I'm available.
Yeah.
And being able to walk in obedience when he tells you to do something.
Yeah.
And also just being teachable. I think being the best steward of what you're giving is like, we just tied it all together, just being teachable.
Yeah.
Someone who is teachable looks at others' opinions as valuable learning tools, not a looming possibilities of being wrong. If you are teachable, Ray, you are constantly absorbing new information, asking for help, and looking for ways to improve. So it's conversational.
Yeah.
Being teachable is not just something you just sit in the back of the class and that's it. No, it's you're constantly, not only are you absorbing new information, but you're asking for help. You're looking for ways to improve.
Yeah.
So that means to be teachable is to also be in your prayer closet all the time. It's to also hit that devotionals. It's to also spend time with the Lord and say, Lord, I need help in these areas. Lord, I need to improve. Lord, like, you know what I mean? Just really just getting conversational and just putting time into that relationship that you have with God. And yeah, I think that's what it means to be a good steward of what you were giving.
Yeah. I think a lot of us don't look at the fact that everything we're given, our talents, our place and where we are, is given to us. It's not something that we've earned on ourselves. And
Absolutely.
I think a lot of the times we tend to forget that I got here based on my talents. I got here based on my
your
credentials.
own merits.
Yeah, by my own merits. And they don't understand. Well, people don't understand. Sometimes even us. Sometimes even me. That we don't understand that God put us here. God gave us these talents. So if you're not using those talents and giving it back to Him or using it in a good way, it's just gonna be taken from you. That platform is gonna be taken from you. It's just facts. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
And basically, what I'm saying is y'all could be teachable in this moment. But basically,
turn it off.
That platform can be taken away from you. That calling can be taken away from you, because if you're not being a good steward with it, then the Lord is just going to give it to somebody else who He knows will be a better steward of it. And like there's this guy, at CFNI, right? He used to be, I don't know if he was a teacher or whatever it is like that, but the Lord used to trust him with money. And the reason why the Lord trusted him with money is because He knew that he was just going to give it back. That He was just going to sow it every single time. And they were telling a story about him, and he said that he's literally had millions of dollars flow through his hands. They said it was like he would come in through one hand and it would come out the other hand, because he knew, the Lord knew that he was going to sow it back. The Lord knew that he was going to give it back, because, and that's being a good steward. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say he wasn't a good steward of that, right? And he kind of just got the money out to himself. He probably would end up broke.
Yeah,
let's be real. He probably would have ended up broke.
I think there's like you just said, there's joy in that, and then there's favor that comes with that, bro.
Yeah, favor.
Being the best steward of what you're given from the Lord there's favor in that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you're operating in what God gives you, whether that's creativity, talents, singing, drawing, writing children's books, when you're just operating that that's your gift back to God.
Yeah.
And when you're operating in that, there's favor in that. God's gonna open doors. God's gonna give you opportunities. God's gonna put you in positions that you never would have thought you would have been in, but because you were being faithful in God, right?
Yeah.
Having faith in Him, and then you were being available
Mm-hmm.
by listening, and you were being teachable at all times,
Yeah.
even when it came to your gift. That puts you definitely in a good spot to reap what you sow.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the thing is that we tend to forget that being faithful with that what we're given, being a good steward of what we're given, is also a form of worship, I believe, because you're basically
Say it again. I had to turn up real quick. Say it again.
It's basically a form of worship because you're basically thanking God for those talents, for those callings and everything like that, especially when it comes to talents. So if God's giving you a talent and you're not using it for His kingdom, for His glory, it's almost I wouldn't say a slap in the face. That's kind of extra, but it's almost like you're saying, Lord, I don't really care that you're giving this to me, and you're basically putting your lie under a table and saying, even though I got this talent, I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna use it. It's whatever, you know what I'm saying. And you're not only, I feel like, are you disrespecting the Lord and doing a disservice to Him, you're also doing a disservice to yourself.
Yeah, you're delaying your favor. Your
delaying,
true blessings.
Yeah, you're delaying your blessing. You're delaying everything that the Lord's called you to do, and you're just not pushing the kingdom forward in that way. You know what I'm saying? And like honestly, you would be delaying your blessing. You would be delaying your favor
for temporary satisfaction.
Sure. Definitely. And I would say there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people like that. I mean, there's times where I've done it. There's times where you've done it. There's times where a lot of people do it. There's some people who are doing it right now, who are listening right now, and I think my greatest advice would be to stop.
To just stop.
To stop and start. To stop delaying it and to start doing it.
Yeah.
And just take up that talent. Take up that thing that that the Lord's calling you to do. Whether it's let's say, for example, I don't know, starting a podcast, writing that book, painting that picture, taking those pictures, making those videos.
Come on.
Whatever it is, writing that sermon, writing that spoken word, writing that song.
That's good.
Playing that instrument, picking up that instrument again. Whatever it is that the Lord's called you to do, because I feel like we're all creative in a way because our Father's creative. We're all creative too, and there's something that the Lord's entrusted to every single one of us, and I think to be a good steward in that would to pick it up again if you stop doing it, or to pick it up whenever if you haven't started, to finally start doing it, and honestly giving Him the glory and all the praise through that, and just showing people the reason why I do this is I do this for the Lord. I do this for the lost ones. I do this for the people who need to find the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And I just do this honestly to worship the Lord. I do this to show the Lord being thankful and being grateful for what He's given you.
For sure. And for those that right now are probably listening and thinking, well, I don't have any one of those talents. I don't have any of those gifts. I think it's in that moment where we kind of just go back to being fat. Let the Lord reveal to you in your faithfulness what He's gifted you.
Yeah.
Let the Lord reveal to you in your availability to Him your gifts. Let Him reveal to you as you're being teachable.
Yeah.
And say, Lord, what do you have? What have you given me?
Yeah.
Let Him reveal that to you. And that's only going to come through time. That's only going to come through, the more and more time you spend with Him, and realizing that, hey, it's going to come to me and His timing, and realizing that it's going to be on His time, and it's going to make sense at the end.
Yeah, because we all have gifts, and maybe your gift isn't being something that has to do in the creative aspect. Maybe your gift is just being like a greeter, like being happy, because that takes a lot of work. Or maybe your gift is to be a teacher, to be teaching. Maybe your gift is to what's it called? Communicating with people. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different gifts. There's so many different things that the Lord has entrusted with us, because He wants us to fit every single aspect. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we're the body of Christ. You know what I'm saying? We all can't be hands. We all can't be feet.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There's other parts of the body that the Lord has called us to be a part of, and
That's good.
I think you just need to find your talent. Maybe your talent, maybe what you're called to do is pray.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe what you're called to do is to be a servant.
Wow.
Because no one can serve like you. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many things that that could be your gift, and I think I think the best thing to do would be to look into the gifts of the Spirit.
For sure.
First and foremost, especially if you're saved, because we all have one of those. Some of us have more than one. Some of us, I think we should all strive to have all of them. But you know what I'm saying?
It's not like Jackie Chan get all the medallions.
But not every single. I don't think every single one of them is for us. You know what I'm saying? I think we all have them, but I think some of them shine brighter than others. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I think looking into the gifts of the Spirit is important, and trying to figure out which one that you have, which one of the gifts that you have, and just operating in that. Because, like Aaron said, getting back in that prayer closet, talking to the Lord, having that one-on-one, and just asking God, "What do you have for me? What is something that you want me to do for you?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's very important to look into that.
Yeah, I think also that kind of just piggyback what you're saying, bro. That I truly believe that God will give you joy in what you do and what He's called you to do. Tapping into your calling, I truly believe that He will give you joy. And and bro, to love what you do, that's enough. That sentence right there is that's huge.
Yeah.
To love what you do, nothing can grow unless you love what you do. If you don't love what you do, it ain't
like
gonna
that lady
grow.
at the gas station.
Exactly. I asked her, it was crazy that we speak on that. I talked to this young lady at the gas station as I was waiting for Ray to get his taquitos that been there for like 7 hours.
Yeah, I was hungry.
But yo, shout out to QT. They're the Chick-fil-A of gas stations. Anyway, so I was talking to her name was Casey, without the F, KFC, but her name was Casey. And I was like, yo, Casey, like, oh my goodness, like your name tag, it shows that you've been here 2013. So I started out the conversation like, are you ready for next year? And she looked at me confused, like, what do you mean? And I said, well, next year is 10 years. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. You're about to be here for 10 years.
A whole decade.
Let's go. That's some commitment. That's some faithfulness.
Yep.
That's a lot of availability. That's a lot of, teachability, if that's even a word. And so kind of tying in F.A.T right there. And she said, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I'm about to be here 10 years. And she just seemed so excited as I was just talking about
very
how
humble too.
Very humble. And I was just talking about how great it must be to work for Quick Trip. And she just found more and more joy as I started to reveal to her the little things about Quick Trip that she might not notice on the daily, but I noticed. Like, Quick Trip always open, number one, right?
Best gas station.
Oh yeah, always open. Always got the shelf stock. Everything's fronted. Yep. Coffee's, I would like to think fresh.
Yeah.
And so, man, when I was talking to her, she was just going ham. And then I asked her this. I said, you know what? I am so glad to see that you love what you do. And she's like, I do. I really do. Mm-hmm. And so, we left that conversation, and I pray that it does linger in her mind that at the end of the day, if you want to see things have longevity, if you want to see things grow, if you want to see things have an impact, you got to start with loving what you do.
Loving what you do. I think that's the most important thing.
You got to love what you've been given to be a good steward of it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Because if you don't love what you're doing, how are you going to be a good steward of it? So, yeah, I just want to leave that with y'all. Just the question that we asked before we got into this whole spiel about being a good steward. So the question is, are you being a good steward of what you were given? So my homework for you, because we hand out homework here on the Inner Circle podcast.
Absolutely.
My homework to you is to ask yourself the question and really dive deep into it. Are you being a good steward of what you were given? And I would say the second question is, if you don't know what your calling is, to what is your calling, and figuring that out. But that's pretty much it. I just want to thank everybody for listening. If you want to follow us on Instagram, our Instagram is _Inner Circle Podcast. If you want to email us any questions, concerns, comments, hate mail,
prayers,
topics that you want us to talk about, our email is theinnercirclepd@gmail.com. And also, too, for those who listen on Spotify, I just found this out that I never shouted this out. I've been doing this for the past 20 episodes.
Wow.
That if you click on the episode, there's a little question on there, and it says, what topic do you want us to talk about next? So you can literally just type in there what topic you want to talk to, what you want us to talk about next, and I will receive the message.
Exactly, guys. Be
on
available.
Spotify.
Be available to have us dive deep into something and be teachable and learn
whatever
something
it
new.
is you want us to talk about, it could literally be anything, right? And because I just want to interact with you guys.
Just not cryptocurrency.
Just not, because I don't know anything about that. Or NFTs. So don't ask me.
Yes, sir.
But I don't even know what NFT stands for. So.
Non-refundable tokens.
I thought it was non-fungible.
Oh, fungible?
What is it? I don't even know what fungible means.
I said refundable. NRTs.
So, that's pretty much it. It's been real and it's been fun, but it ain't been real fun.
Yes,
so
sir.
we out of here.
Baby.
Peace.